I'm Jeff Cornwall, and this is the Entrepreneurial Mind. Today our guest is Josh Boyd with Computer Pros. We'll be back to talk with Josh after this.
Talkapolis programming is sponsored in part by the Vane Center, now celebrating 10 years service in Nashville, Tennessee.
Welcome, Josh.
Thank you.
So, as I know your story, you started a retail computer business right after the recession. Is that about right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What made you want to start a business like that at that time? I mean, a lot of people had to kind of say you were kind of crazy for doing that, I would think.
Yeah, I have had a lot of people ask me that very question. I've been in the computer business for about 15 years now, so I started looking at the Nashville market back in even as early as 2005 or 6, and just always loved the market here. And I'm originally from Southern Indiana, and I saw the need here for just somewhere people could go to actually get some service and support whenever they needed it.
So, in spite of the fact somebody like me as an outsider would look at this industry and say, boy, it feels like it's pretty mature and saturated, you still found a pretty significant need in the market?
Yeah, the problem is that you have a lot of these large big box stores that a lot of people feel overwhelmed when they go into, or a mall store where they've got to park and walk through a parking garage and all this, and especially for service customers, nobody wants to have to schlep a big tower through a mall parking garage to get help.
To go to the Apple store in there.
Yeah, with us, I focused more on great location, ease of accessibility, and being an Apple dealer, we're able to sell for the same price. So that playing field's leveled. For us, it was just more of being able to have convenient access, and be able to really have that personal connection with the customer that they.
So how did you know that this gap was out there? I mean, what evidence did you get to really support your hypothesis that there was something missing in the marketplace?
Sure. Like I said, I've been in the IT business for about 15 years, and I worked with other companies in Indiana and Kentucky, and I saw that need being fulfilled there. And whenever I came down and toured Nashville, I noticed that there was really nobody filling that niche, and so I probably made 8 or 10 trips down here, some for business, some for fun, and just discovered that need and decided to, and I picked Green Hills. Green Hills is just the hotbed of commerce here in Nashville in a lot of ways, and it's turned out to be a great location for us.
So you'd seen this elsewhere, it worked elsewhere, Nashville just didn't have it. That was as simple as that.
Precisely.
Now, one of the challenges when you bring a new business model, which it's new to Nashville then, is kind of letting people know that you're here. I mean, how did you kind of get above the noise? I mean, we're all trained here in Nashville to go to certain places. How did you get known? How did you, wave your hands and say, I'm here, come give us a try?
Well, a lot of it was the location decision. So we picked Green Hills. We're right there where the Donut Den is and where Levy's is, right across from the mall. So at Abbott Martin and Hillsborough Pike, I mean, that's probably the busiest intersection around.
Right.
So a lot of it has just been location selection that was really helpful. To be quite honest, the biggest challenge that we've had is not so much on the retail, but on our commercial side, because we do service small businesses as well, has been, sometimes fighting that stigma of, hey, they're a retailer, but in reality, we have a whole separate commercial services division. That side's been more challenging to market than the retail. The retail, I mean, we're there, the customers are there, we have the products and services they want. So
have you had to do much promotion, or has it been mostly word of mouth? Or
really not hardly any advertising at all. Now, we pay dearly for rent in that part of town, so you can either save on your location selection and then pay a lot to advertise, or pay a lot for your location and pay less to advertise. So it's kind of a it's a different mix. In the other markets I've been in before, we had to heavily advertise there because the location of commerce just wasn't there like it is here.
So your location was your promotion budget, basically.
Yeah.
Interesting. So what are you doing to get the small businesses, how are you getting their attention?
Well, a lot of it's been through networking here in town. I'm a member of Kiwanis. I'm a member of the NFIB organization, as well as Nashville City Club and those sort of things. And I've made a lot of connections here in town. I've lived here 5 years now, so to really be able to grow in the community has been very helpful. But yeah, it's mainly through networking. We do some advertising, some print advertising, online advertising. So in fact, this year we're going to be ramping that up even more.
So do you think there's some branding confusion with the small businesses, or is it mainly just kind of communicating with them who you are and what you do?
Yeah, I've found the most success whenever I can actually sit across from the CEO of the company and just explain to them who we are, what we do. Once they get that message and really find out what our offering is, then at that point it's pretty easy. A lot of times it's just actually setting that first appointment that can be challenging.
Right. So I've got a small tech company we're starting up right now. So what would you offer me in terms of services? What could you do for my business? We're doing content development, so we've got some Apple equipment and some not that sophisticated kind of software and other stuff. What could you do to help a small business like mine?
Well, the first thing I would do is come in and look at your security. Hacking attempts are up about, I was looking at an IBM report the other day, they're up about 18% this year over last year. And we've actually encountered with several of our small businesses, even ones with as small as 5 employees, cyber attacks from overseas into their servers trying to get access to data. And a lot of people may think that their data is not important, but a lot of people don't realize how much data they share and store that actually has personal information, bank account numbers, social security numbers. So we like to start at the security level first. How are you guys protected from outside threats? But then we can also do everything, as I like to say, from the mouse to the server rack. So we look at is your wireless infrastructure good? Is your network infrastructure good? Then we can also look at your machines. Are your machines protected? Do they have a good multifaceted antivirus, internet security software programs installed on them? And then, for typical service and repair, a part goes bad, whatever. But then we do consulting as well. So, for example, if you're starting a content business, you're going to need to store all that content somewhere. That's going to take up a lot of space. So it's good to start those talks early to plan your roadmap for what your storage needs are going to look like, 3 months from now, 3 years from now, and kind of build an intelligent plan along the way.
Fascinating, fascinating. So eventually, do you anticipate that these two divisions, if they're successful, will really start to become much more autonomous?
Yeah, that's the question I ask myself probably once a day.
Yeah, because it's really different. I mean, marketing is different. There's different expectations in service. Hours of operation, almost everything is different between retail and business to business.
They're two completely separate companies, really, in a way. But the two really complement each other in a lot of ways, too, because our commercial clients love the fact that they can actually physically walk in and drop a machine off if they're having problems. Or, the new iPad comes out and they like to be able to, even though we're managing all their networks there, the CEO might want the new iPad. He can walk in the store, or we can get one from the store and take it to him. So it acts as a product warehouse for us as well. It's actually quite a competitive advantage in a lot of ways. So.
Well, and with small businesses, it makes sense because there's a lot of overlap between the entrepreneur as the business owner and the entrepreneur as just, a guy with technology in his house too. So
sure.
What a great story, and what wonderful success in a fairly short period of time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. We'll hope to have you back soon.
I'd love to be back.
Good. Thanks.
Talkapolis, the social media TV network for your city.